Viriya Adhipati, Viriya Dhanuragana Dhamana, Dhanamudana Neta Rupana, Viprijitena, Vidyo. Yesterday, we talked about Adhipati, strong willingness. We really do something very strongly. That's very important. And you can be succeed. You can be succeed your what you are doing. So not only the strong willingness require, also the way the Buddha talk about effort also require. Viriya, effort also require to do something to achieve what you want to achieve. So viriya, we can take effort. So in Pali, they show the Mesa viriya, Sama, Mesa Vayama, Sama Vayama viriya, the same. Mesa Vayama, Mesa viriya, Sama viriya, Mesa. Raw viriya effort, raw effort. Samaviriya, right effort. In the Buddha Nikaya, Pali explained, when you make the raw effort more, the more you make the effort is raw effort, not right effort. The more you can make the raw effort, the more you will see problem and suffering. The more you make the raw effort, the more you see more problem, more suffering. That's why. Even though you make the effort, this effort should be right effort, should not be wrong effort. If you make the wrong effort, there will be more suffering. And when you make the right effort, the more you make the right effort, the more you will be peaceful, enjoy, free from the suffering. So when you make the right effort you made, and the more you make the right effort, the more you will be free from the suffering, will be more peaceful. That's why in the Pali text explaining, Mesa Vayama, wrong effort, Sama Vayama, right effort. Even though we make the effort, then our effort should be right effort, should not be wrong effort. Then among the viriya that we have there, also professional viriya, Kayika viriya, Siddhika viriya. Kayika viriya is the bodily effort. Bodily effort. Siddhika viriya is the mentally effort. So viriya is the professional viriya, Kayika viriya, bodily effort. Remember, when you are doing something, in order to carry something, in order to do something, you need physical effort, bodily effort. If your body is not enough effort, something very heavy, so sometimes you cannot carry it very heavy. That's why something very heavy, so you have the bodily effort, enough bodily effort. Siddhika viriya is the mental effort, mentally effort. So in the mind you have to really make the effort. So if you do not make the effort, probably you will fall asleep. Probably you may not reach the primary object. Your movement will not reach the primary object. Or you miss the object. That's why. So when you practice meditation here, you need both physical effort, Kayika viriya, the Siddhika viriya, mental effort. You need both effort. So that's why here the Buddha explaining viriya Adhipati Adhipati means that your effort, you have the strong effort, very energetic effort, very energetic, very strong effort. So when you do something, you have to have the effort. Without the effort, you cannot do it. When you are in the meditation center, so you change the many things from your daily life to the meditation schedule. And the daily life, so you are the boss. So if you are lazy, you can wake up late. You can sleep more hours. Especially on the holidays, you can sleep more hours. Or if you are tired, you can sleep on the bed. You can lie down, you can walk. So this is how well you are doing in the daily life. But when you are here, so the purpose you are here to observe your body and mind. So usually our mind go here and there a lot. Think about the past, think about the future. So the mind go here and there a lot, doesn't stay in the present moment. Even if you are eating, your mind thinking a lot. Here and there, cannot control. Even if you are walking, your mind thinking here and there a lot. So, in order to stop your one day go here and there, you need to have the effort. Here effort, the more you need mental effort, mentally effort. Physical effort is okay, because you don't need to do a lot of things with the body. You do the meditation, sitting meditation. You have to sit with the upper body erect, straight. So then when you go to your booty, and you observe right step, left step. So mainly you need a mentally effort. If you do not have the mentally effort, even though you are not expert for meditation, so you can think about how can you improve your meditation. So that's why when our yogi came to meditation center, we show you that on the video how to do sitting meditation, how to do walking meditation, how to practice. When you close your eyes, sit down, watch your abdomen, rising, observe the rising, falling. If your energy is not strong enough, your abdomen cannot reach the rising, falling. If you cannot reach the rising, falling, how can you gain concentration mindfulness? So in order to reach the rising, falling, you really need mental effort. Of course, sometimes this kind of practice may be more tired than your daily life. Because in the daily life, you are used to do many things. Driving the car, driving the motorbike, so working on the computer, cooking the food, everything you are very familiar. That's why you will not tired. But when you are here, because you need really mental energy every moment, you breathe in, breathe out. You have to watch the rising falling every second, every moment, not to waste. You have to watch the rising falling every moment, every second, rise, fall, without any mistake. So, after you observe that few minutes, you might be very tired, you might be very uncomfortable, very hard to breathe, very uncomfortable, very tired, want to lie down, don't want to observe rising falling, trying to find an easy object. So, this one, if you try to find an easy object, if you do not want to meditation more difficult. So you have to understand nothing is easy. Always remember nothing is easy in the beginning. Even when you go to school, when you start learning Vietnamese language or English language, it's not very easy. When you start studying, it's not very easy. But it is not easy. You don't make any effort, then your studying, your doing something will not improve. Of course, when you see difficulty, you have to make effort to study more carefully. In the same way, when you observe the rising body, you need mentally effort every moment. It is very tiring, I know. We know that. Very tiring. For 1 hour, so long, right? Sitting for 1 hour, so long. You feel very long, very pain, very uncomfortable, very itchy, and a lot of wandering mind, thinking might come in, right? Even though you observe the rising body. Right? So even though you see those kind of wandering mind, thinking might feel uncomfortable, dizzy, headache, you have to really know mentally effort. Watch the rising body every moment. Even you miss no problem. You have to watch carefully. Sometimes you breathe on purpose, longer, shorter. When you realize just okay, just overall observe this way. So when you have this kind of effort, yes, you observe the rising body carefully every moment. You are not only training the effort actually. From your observation with the effort, you are gaining also mindfulness concentration. Both. Viriya, effort, mindfulness concentration by observing the rising body. That's why the Buddha is saying, with the Viriya effort, you can achieve your meditation. Because when you observe carefully, you are not gaining the Viriya, you are also gaining the Sati, Samadhi, and at the same time, if you observe carefully. That's why our yogis, when you observe this kind of object, we know that it is not very easy. It is sometimes very difficult, very tiring, very discomfort, but without the Viriya, your meditation won't be improved, will not be success. That's why we have no choice. Sayagyi asked me, please give me the easy way. So because the Buddha doesn't teach easy way, some of the things are really necessary, some are unique effort. Right? For example, when you do meditation, you don't need other things, but you have to sit. Right? Just watch the rising body. Even if they just watch the rising body, you don't do anything, but you see very difficult, not very easy. Very discomfort. The mind, even though you make the effort, cannot reach the object sometimes easily, right? So you have to really make mental effort, observe very carefully every sitting meditation. So when you observe the rising, falling, when you have the right effort, observing the rising, falling, so you can see rising, falling movement every moment in many ways. When you have the right effort, observing the rising, falling. So since you have the right effort, so your concentration, mindfulness improve by observing the rising, falling. Then you can observe others easily. You can observe them easily because when you have the right effort, your concentration, mindfulness improve. Then when you mindfulness concentration improve, then you can observe the others, the mind, feeling, seeing, hearing, swaying the body. Right? So pain, itchy, uncomfortable, dizzy, headache, you can observe that easily. That's why this is our practice meditation. Observing the primary object is the main part, key important. key point, main point. When you know how to observe the rising falling with the right effect, so since you have the right effect, then you have the right mindfulness, right concentration, follow. When the right concentration, right mindfulness follow, then you can observe that easily. When you can observe that easily, then so because of that, in the beginning you only develop that, you try only the right effect. But later your concentration mindfulness more and more develop. When the concentration mindfulness more and more develop, then the observing the rising falling also become very easy. Seeing the mind very easy, observing the mind also become very easy. Very itchy, comfortable, uncomfortable, dizzy, headache, those kind of feeling also you can observe them very easy way. Very easy way. So in the beginning of your practice, if you do not know how to observe the wonderment thinking mind, if you do not know how to observe the pain, itchy, uncomfortable, don't worry. Our yogi really need to have the very skillful to make the right effect, to understand how to make the right effect, to understand how to make the right effect, to observe the rising body. So when you observe the rising body, I also mentioned, when you feel tired, uncomfortable, feel dizzy, headache, so don't think my meditation is something wrong. If you think your meditation is something wrong, when you feel uncomfortable, dizzy, headache, so means you have that good understanding about the practice. When you see the difficulty observing the rising body, do not move other secondary objects. For example, rising body long, short, rising body sometimes they rotate very strongly, very violently. So the rising body move sometimes very subtle, small, heavy, big. Sometimes cause a lot of pain in the abdomen. So don't do other places. You have to understand the meditation instruction, right? When the Buddha teach the yogi observing the primary object carefully, repeatedly. So we are not encouraged yogi to move other objects when you see the difficulty observing the yogi. No, we do not encourage. We do not encourage the yogi to move the secondary object when you are seeing the difficulty of observing the yogi, not at all. So you have to understand the purpose of you are observing the rising body. Whatever appears in the abdomen, your duty has to be observed. Doesn't matter they are long, short, doesn't matter they are long, short, heavy, light, or rotating violently, or sometimes cause a lot of pain, or sometimes move slowly like a wave, whatever. So your duty has to be observed. Your duty has to observe, do not make any judgment, do not have any wandering mind, do not have any questioning, why, what happened, do not move the other secondary object. This is a very important point. Why today I emphasize about this point? Because so I invited many yogis. Some yogis make progress very fast because they understand this point, how to observe the object, like in body. Some yogis they make progress very fast because some yogis they know how to observe the rising body according to the instruction. They clearly understand, they observe, they cannot move. But some yogis who have the difficulty for their practice cannot make progress. They are very stuck. They cannot make progress. They cannot move forward. They feel their meditation doesn't make progress. So they are trying to find the meditation teacher, meditation center, go here and there, but they feel no progress. Feel stuck. Why they feel stuck? Why they cannot make progress? Because the yogi don't really know how to observe the rising body. why I have to remind. Because the many yogis have a lot of strong determination. When they see difficulty of having they don't want to face. They don't want to overcome this one. Make their mind weak. Their understanding, their mind weak. Their determination is also weak. When they observe that even though you kind of observe that one day man might pay itchy whatever, but you view your meditation no progress. You can say 2 hours, okay. So for Vipassana practice, even though you say 2 hours, 3 hours, but we still do not count as meditation progress when you practice 2 hours, 3 hours. We count as your meditation progress when you see how you see the Nama changing and Nisa Dokananda. Then when you see the Nama changing and Nisa Dokananda, how you see more clearly how the Nama changing and Nisa Dokha Anatta, how you see more clearly. Actually, the meditation progress, when you really see Nisa Dokananda in the beginning, when you really improve, everything changes so rapidly. So many things are you see at the same time, the mind changing, feeling changing, seeing, hearing changing. You are watching at one moment, so bad you see so many changing. Even at the time, you cannot really know what kind of feeling you have. Happy feeling, no happy feeling, bitter feeling. Feeling, you just see the feeling. Even though you cannot know what kind of mind you are, just seeing the mind. So, you see the seeing, hearing, the body, everything changing. So, the more you make progress, the more you see more clearly how the Nama change. This is the way we consider your Vipassana meditation progress. But we don't consider you say 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, because they depend on how you practice. But when you practice Samadhi meditation, you say the 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours okay, because you practice Samadhi meditation, you get the concentration, and that's why you say the 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours okay. Samadhi meditation teacher appreciate you when you say 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours okay. But Vipassana is different. Vipassana is sometimes when you are there, happy and peaceful, very good concentration, sometimes you can say 2 hours, 3 hours, but not by force. By choice. So then when we really see this clearly, then we consider about your meditation progress, how much you make progress. So when you really develop your concentration mindfulness, meditation teacher will not encourage you observe animal carefully anymore, because after you really develop, the four foundation of mindfulness will be more obvious. Equally, you observe animal at the same time, you see mind, you see the feeling, see, hearing. The four foundation of mindfulness are equally important. So at that time, so every moment you observe one another, everything that your meditation object, seeing, hearing, when you are talking, when you are sitting down, getting up, when you are walking meditation, sitting meditation, every object becomes your meditation object. So when you really reach this level, meditation teacher will not encourage yogi to observe everything carefully, do not use animal carefully. But before you reach this point, when the meditation teacher tells you observe carefully, means you have another very important one. Observe carefully. Observe everything carefully means your effort not enough, your concentration not enough, your mindfulness not enough, because when you describe about the living body, the meditation teacher knows immediately where you are, what kind of experience you have, what kind of the inside knowledge you have. the just concentration level, or you are the vipassana level in the beginning of the vipassana level, or you already develop many level of the vipassana knowledge, we know, right? So that's why our yogi, right? So when you practice the meditation, the viriya, samavayama, right and prana. The viriya is a very important key point to develop your concentration mindfulness, to improve your meditation, your practice. Right? So that's why in the beginning, if you do not know how to observe the mind, if you do not know how to observe the brain, itchy, and overall, whole body. After you really develop your concentration mindfulness, you cannot avoid to observe the mind, you have to observe automatically. Mind, feeling, see, hear, right? So, of course, if you know how to observe, sometimes occasionally you can observe secondary object. If you are very confused, don't know how to observe the primary object carefully with the right effect, then don't worry about meditation progress. Even if you practice a few days, so you see how much you make progress. When you have the right effect during the sitting meditation, you can overcome for many things. When you have the right effect for one day mind, thinking mind, you can overcome because you have the right effect. So observe the right thing for day, then one day mind, thinking mind, finally cannot come. Sleepless, loss and torpor. When you have the right effect, loss and torpor, finally less than that cannot come. Pain, itchy, uncomfortable, sway, the body sway, body leaning, body burning, leaning, sway. Those are also, when you have the right effect, observe the right game you can overcome. So observe the right body, you can gain the concentration mindfulness. Not only that, you can overcome for one day mind, thinking mind, pain, itchy, uncomfortable, dizzy, headache, kinameda, close and torpor, body sway, leaning, seeing, hearing, so many things you can overcome. I begin there like effect. So this is the sitting meditation, walking meditation I have to do like effect. Lip day, place day, lip day, group of place. You have to reach object. Standing, every moment. If you do not have the right effect, you cannot reach. If you cannot reach, you cannot develop your concentration mindfulness. When you go to your body, go to the dining hall, you have to observe right step, left step. So our yogi, you have to understand. Coming here to practice mindfulness. Coming here to aware of your body and mind every moment. If you do not make the effort, do not aware of your eye looking here and there, your mind go here and there without observing, how can you improve? Even you have the endowment for money time, how can you improve? You go to your body without making the effort, you go here and there, right? So looking here and there, mind go here and there, your mind is not on the object. Right? When you go to your body, just you walk, you are looking here and there, do not observe there. So right step, left step with the effort. So when you do the walking meditation, do not observe with the right effort, your mind go here and there. Right? Your eye looking here and there, your mind go here and there. So how can you improve? Without the right effort. Every moment, in the sitting meditation, walking meditation, when you are eating, when you go to your body, and the Dhamma or any walk, you need to have the really right effect. Observing the body movement according to the meditation instruction. When you have the right effect, yes, gradually your meditation will improve. Then your difficulty will be go away. So then you will be achieved. So you encounter many kind of difficulties because of that you practice both sitting, walking, daily mindfulness according to the schedule. Then you will lazy mindfulness. Even though you can encounter the Sunday body, finally you can overcome. With the Viriya, you can achieve your meditation. You can achieve the higher destination. Higher destination means the highest meditation experience. So we cannot finish today's meditation about tomorrow.